first from the bottom, and after we having identified that it was after seeing sell on rise to now buy on dips market. So the trend is continuing. We are watching the weekly chart. As we can see, indicators are looking very nice. The super trend has turned bearish, and if I can say so, a lifetime high at 36,800 is in the offing. 36,830 is now within sight, but this is weekly chart, so don't expect it in this calendar year. But yes, by about Jan end, that should be in the process. 36,830 is another 2,500 points away on Dow Jones, right? But your immediate target, where you look at this at 34,347, is already crossing a super trend, previous super trend level. So your first target is at 35,100. Second, 36,000, and then 36,830. Very clearly, but this is weekly. Super trend bullish, MACD given you crossover, come within the histogram. The orange line is also within the histogram, though your histogram have turned reddish in color, but there is no chance of reversal on MACD line and signal line. CCI at 128 is a very good level. Expect this can go up to about 188 or 200, currently at 128. So it can go up to 200 levels before you can look for a reversal. If it comes to 200 levels, 35,100 or 35,200 will almost have been achieved. Stochastic also giving you an uptrend. Crossover not yet shown, but at very good levels of 95 and 85 levels. Weekly chart. Compare this to the day chart and look at this level. Super trend is still climbing. There is no chance of reversal. Super trend is still climbing. 8 is still climbing. Angle of 60 degrees plus. 20 still climbing. No way is he even thinking of flattening it off. So Dow Jones, even on day chart, looks beautifully placed. Very, very strongly placed. And if this continues further, look at your MACD lines. Way above the zero line. Way above zero line. So if it gives you an uptick further, it can take you up. CCI at 165, wonderfully looking wonderfully well placed. Stochastic 97 and 95, again wonderfully placed. So Dow Jones very clearly placed up, upward trend clearly shown. First time whenever we get a Dow Jones super trend turning flat, you will see sideways consolidation or sideways profit booking happening. When the market starts moving sideways, that's the time when super trend will start turning flat. That is the first time you will start trying to liquidate a position on Dow Jones. Clear? Nasdaq as compared to Dow Jones. This is a weekly chart. The super trend.
Vivek sir, what
Yes,
you are
Murli.
looking the targets on the Dow Jones on daily?
Just a minute. Let me just show back to you again. Dow Jones, you're looking want weekly chart targets or you want daily targets?
On daily.
All right. I'll give you the weekly figures. They will also hold on daily. First is 1,000 point away, 35,150. You're currently at 34,350. I am looking at approximately 35,150 from here. First target. Second target, 35,850.
Exactly. Yeah.
Third target, 36,830. So 36,830, 35,000 or 36,000, 35,150. This has already been crossed. So 35,150, 36,000 and 36,830 or 36,800. This is the steady target. So anybody wanting to buy a call, a January end call, look to buy 36,800 or 36,500 call. If you want to hold positionally, 36,500 call. Why am I looking at January end? Because this is the month is going to be December. It's going to be a truncated week, a truncated month for you. The Christmas holidays will be coming in. That's why we are looking at January end calls. So strike price 36,500 last Friday of January. Expiry for that. Look at a strike price of premium and you can think about picking up 36,500 calls. I'm seeing this trend clear. Now, in your weekly chart, look at the 8 super trend crossing 20 and 34 on the verge of a crossover. And the super trend has just turned bearish, bullish in the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So it's definitely a clean chart. You want to take the week, the day targets. Unfortunately, on this, the day, because it's a day chart, it will not be able to give you the targets that easily. But look at this super trend over here. 34,399 on the verge of breaking this super trend out. On the verge of breaking this super trend here. 34,399, 400. Once this breaks, next target is over here. 35,385. That is why I said you are 1,000 point away. 35,250, 35,385, 1,000 point away. So this will give you a 1,000 point rally. And this is a day chart. So 35,000, you have a 1,000 point rally here. After that, your next target will be somewhere here, 35,900. That's 36,000. And then of course, 36,830, 850, 830. And thereafter, long targets. It will be into uncharted territory. You will be at lifetime highs and taking it up. But look for these targets to come only in the month of January, not December. December targets immediately. 1,000 point rally can be looked at right now in the next 15 days. So the next 2 weeks, 1,000 point rally can be looked at. So before Christmas, you will look at Dow Jones of 35,350 and above. Muni, that helps you?
Yes, sir. I have marked actually, as we were discussing before, I have marked these targets. So I was just wanted reconfirm that I am in the right direction.
So are we both in the same direction?
Yes, we
Levels,
are both.
yeah?
Yes.
Lovely. Lovely. Now, as compared to this, the NASDAQ weekly chart is here. The trend is still bearish and it is going to move towards 12,185 before it can talk about turning bullish. The good thing is the super trend has turned flattish, so it is going to attract the price going up. If and when this price breaks 12,161, that is the super trend. If this price breaks at 12,161, you will look for very good targets of almost about 3,000, 4,000 points higher. 3,500 points high at least after this super trend breaks. Why is that going to, why am I making that statement? Number one, look at your 8 moving average on a weekly trying to curve up. Number two, if Dow Jones is going to move, NASDAQ has to catch up. So whenever Dow Jones will consolidate, NASDAQ will rally and move up to catch up with Dow Jones. Both the indexes will finally move in tandem with each other. So for that catching up to do, Dow will have to take a breather in its rally up, and that breather will be given a chance to NASDAQ to really move up and catch up. So that is the way it's going to move up. So in terms of growth, NASDAQ will grow fast. Well, it will have to catch up by January end to again reach its all-time high, which is somewhere over here, 16,100. Currently at 11. So you are talking about 5,000 points away on NASDAQ. So I'm talking about a 50% or a 45% run up from here by January end. So you can look for a good run up, right? So this could be January end, it could be mid-Feb also. I don't know, but it has to move up to this point. And minute this breaks, super trend breaks at 16,000, at 12,161. Once this gives you the break, expect another 3,500 run up comfortably. 3,500 points on NASDAQ comfortably. Weekly chart.
Sir, before we switch, just one question.
Yeah.
The black line is 100 EMA because 100 moving average, because would it
It's
give
a 200.
resistance?
It's a 200-day moving average.
Would it give resistance at the current
It
state?
It should give resistance, but this is being a weekly chart, it will not really work because the 8 is already moving up. 8 has already curved up. And if you look at it, MACD has given you crossover here.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a bullish engulfing for this candle, weekly chart. Right? 2 weeks after bullish engulfing have not been able to cross 40% of the last bullish engulfing candle.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in the top end of the bullish engulfing candle. That is the reason why. And super trend has turned flat.
Okay.
And tie that up
is
with the broader market. And tie that up with the broader market of Dow Jones really moving up. Right? So that is the reason why. That's the reason why this 200-day moving average is acting like a resistance for the last 3 weeks, but finally it will break out today, this week. It should give you a good breakout this week. Now that's my expectations. Probability of breaking out is higher because your crossovers on MACD have also taken place. MACD and CCI and they have also taken place. I'll show that to you again. MACD crossover here.
Right.
CCI curving up already at 14 points positive. So it has to go to 120 at least. 120, 150 at least. The minute this goes up, it will carry up. Stochastic is already at 44 and 35. Crossover, positive crossover given. So this has to go up to 80. CCI has to go up to 120, 125 at least, or 185. Automatically, this price will go up and touch this point. So the crossover has to take place, but will it cross the super trend is what is going to be our critical point.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Day chart. Now in the day chart, look at 200-day moving average, Gaurav, still above.
Right, sir.
Super trend turned bullish, flattish, sideways, slight climb. Now in the day chart, this is your first target, 11,500. That's another 200 points away, 200 or 250 points away. But your MACD crossover has taken place. CCI is in positive territory and consolidating. Stochastic at 77 and 73, positive crossover has to go up. So this is your first resistance over here at 11,475 or 11,500. So anybody wanted to take a call, 2-week away call, 11,500 on NASDAQ is openly available. Next target is 12,000, which is exactly what I told you. Currently, you are at 11,200. You are looking at about a 12,000 or 12,200 targets. That is about 1,000 point away from NASDAQ. But not immediately. You will expect that to happen by December end at least. A 10% enhancement from the current levels by December end at least. So your first target is 12,200 on NASDAQ. Now compare this with TSX weekly chart. Now TSX on weekly chart has just given you a positive breakout on the super trend. Look at your MACD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your blue MACD, blue line and the yellow line both are in your histograms, and your crossover has just happened. You are approximately 10% away from your lifetime highs on TSX. Just 10% away. Look at CCI climbing. You see the angle of climb? This is beautiful. This angle of climb and this angle of climb for the weekly candles. Beautiful chart. And how comfortably he's climbing. He climbs, he takes a pause, climbs, takes a pause, climbs. So this week, again, look for a higher candle, but a small candle. But the next week will again be a big candle. So that high candle, small candle will give you this target at 20,900. That's about another about 500 points. And then look for this candle in the next 3 weeks before Christmas breaks. So 21,600, 21,500 is what you should expect on TSX before Christmas breaks. So all of those who are invested on the stocks were cribbing that why the last 1.5 years were bad because the market was falling. This Christmas will be green instead of red. The color of the season is going to be red, but the color of a portfolio will be green because TSX index is going to touch 21,500 by Christmas, definitely. Weekly chart. Daily chart. See this? Exhaustion on support trend and the positive climb. Where are you currently on MACD? 139, 132, much above the zero levels. CCI at 138 has to go back and climb to this level of 227. If this 227 comes up, you can easily expect 21,500. Right? Stochastic 96 and 95, pretty exhausted, pretty high, but it can continue further. Look at the climb it's giving you. Right? Now, over here in this chart, look at the day chart and then tell me where can we see the first resistance? Somewhere over here. 20,666. 20,666. Next, 21,050. 21,400. And I was already telling you 21,500 is my target for Christmas. That is TSX. Any
So
questions?
TSX mein there's also the crossover on the day chart between the black, I think that's the 200 and the blue one.
8.
So
200
yeah,
and
that's
8.
the 8. So that would also add some impetus.
Yes, it will. It will. Because if this crossover is going to happen, make a note of one more good thing. Your super trend is crossing over 20 moving average. Normally 20 acts like a support, but here your super trend is crossing the 20 moving average. So even if it turns flat, even if super trend turns flat at this level, you'll be turning flat at 200-day moving average. So you will have a super trend support, you'll have a 200-day moving average, and below that the 20 moving average. So you realize how strongly it's going to climb up. Because if 20 crosses 200, expect some fireworks to start immediately. Normally, golden crossover is 50 and 200. But when 20 and 200 also crossover, expect some good fireworks because institutions will take this as a leading indicator for a major uptick. Whereas before this crossover, here on this platform, we are already asking you to get ready for 21,500 before Christmas. Now, all these things which Gaurav identified is equally important. And add to that, that the super trend is now above your 20 moving average. Now, the 20 moving average here is a 19,825. Super trend is already at 19,933, 100 points higher than your 20 moving average. That is what which is going to be giving you the advantage to move up. Clear? All three indexes done for North American continent.
Right, sir.
Any questions before I take up Mini? Yes, Mini. Yes, Mini, like NASDAQ, curving up, breaking of 4147 or 4150 becomes very, very important. After that, next target 4300. Right? So possibly Munir and Kamal, if they're looking at it, if this breaks, 4300 is the target to look at. Weekly chart. So don't expect that 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. This is again second week of January. And this is where I expect January to close 4,500. Yeah. The trend MACD crossover has happened. The blue line is just enter the histogram. The orange is about to yet enter. But CCI, very strong 60-degree angle climb, which is good on a weekly chart. Stochastic at 68, 69 and 57, very strong bullish stochastic levels. Take it on a day chart. You are at your 200-day moving average. Super trend at an angle of almost 80, 85. Almost 80-degree angle climb. You see that? Almost 80-degree angle climb. So 200-day moving average on a day chart coming in will immediately give it strength. Very strongly followed by the 8, 20, and here also the super trend has broken above. The super trend has broken above the 65 moving average, which I've always explained to you is very important. Right? First targets from here, uptrend. Another first 50-point first target, and then thereafter 41,130. That's 100 points away. And then this 43,000. So 42,075 and 43,000 next target. That's your ES mini for you. By when can you expect it? I would suggest look at around 41,030 or 41,020 strike price 2 weeks away. Munir, if you can give me the strike price premiums for 41,025 or 41,020. That will be an idea. When can you buy?
41,020 for January 8?
No, mid-January.
Mid-January.
That is only Friday expiry. Sorry, not January, December, mid-December. 41,020 mid-December, Friday expiry.
Sir, it has daily expiry.
So I'm talking about Friday expiry of second week of December.
So it's 16 December. Let's see.
Because both you and Kamal will be trading this annual for sure.
It's 41.50, 41,000.
41,000? All right, 41,000 is the investment.
Yeah, 41.50. So divide by 2. So it will be 2,100 investment.
21. Well,
Yeah.
that's the target to look at. That is the strike price to enter.
Yeah, sir, premium becomes expensive.
I am not denying it. That's what I'm saying. That is it's just giving an idea what to watch out for. And this is by December 16th. 41,000. Sorry, 4,125. 4,125. That's another about 100 points, $100 away.
So better to invest in the future contract. Like if we buy the future contract, and if we go 100 point up, so it will give almost $5,000.
Yes, I've just given you both the ideas, and then you and Kamal can decide what you should be entering at. But that is the strike, or that is the target price I'm looking at by mid-December. For $100 above, and once this gets taken out, then by Christmas, this becomes too difficult. 278 by Christmas becomes difficult. Possibly 4,200 by Christmas. So 4120 and 4,200 by Christmas, by December, by New Year. So this would get traded anyway. 23-hour trading session will take it up. Clear?
Yes.
Anybody else wants anything else? You want me to do SPY also?
Yeah, just quick look. It's almost same. It's just 10%
It should
up.
be the
Yes.
same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly same.
This is the gap. Yeah, that I was expecting 408 level. Yeah.
409,
Exactly.
408 level.
Yes.
The idea of support trend is wherever you see flattening of support trend in the past, that becomes the first target.
Even sir, there is a small gap if you see in the both candles below
This
the
candle
support
here,
trend.
this gap here.
Yes. Yeah, there is a gap. It has to be filled.
This is a major gap.
Yeah.
410 and 401. Yeah. So this $8 gap or $7 gap has to get filled in. But look at the beauty. It gave a gap up and then gave a gap down.
Gap down.
So this gap down has to be filled in, and this gets filled in by 410.
Yes.
And 410, I can expect in the next 1 week. 1 week or 7 to 8 trading days. Trading days, so 1.5 weeks, definitely. So you could even look at taking up a
Sir, do you think before going up
call.
it will come back to take a support at EMA like 397?
392 was already tested here. It came down. 393, 394 has been tested. Do you want me to take it to 397 here? This levels.
Yeah, I was just thinking if it might come down because of the EMA 200 is above. So if it get resistance, it might come down little bit up to 397 and then push upside to 408.
What
The
you
only
say,
positive,
what you say is maybe possible because of 200 because of 200 day
yes,
moving average.
only
But-
because of 200 EMA. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm looking at support trend. If
Yes,
it has
that,
to come down, this support trend should have been turning flat by now.
yeah.
Look at this. It was climbing. It gave you a small correction and it immediately flattened. So if this turns flat at 200-day moving average, then this is your buying price. 398, 398, 399. Because the high of this candle is 400, close was also 400, and the low of the Thursday candle is 399.330. So 399 should not break. So even if it comes to 399.25 or 399.50, I'll be a buyer to take it up because this super trend is still looking very, very bullish and on the verge of crossing the 20 moving average. You're just about what? 60 cents away to cross the 20 moving average. And Friday being Friday, it gave you a low volume.
So it was half day basically. I
Yes,
don't
it was
count
half day,
Friday.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think that was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, not even Friday. Or
Friday was
off?
half day.
Sir,
Thursday
Thursday was
off.
off. Yeah,
Thursday was off and Friday was half day. Yes, all right.
Yeah, because of Thanksgiving in US.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. So this is the way I'm looking at it because of this. And your MACD lines are all above zero line. CCI is climbing and flattening. Stochastic 96 and 80, 89, 90, which is again very high number. So what you're saying is that 200-day can act like a resistance. I will agree to it at 404, 405. But if 405 gets touched and comes down, buy it at 400. I don't expect it to break 399. At least I'm not expecting it to break. Or if you are brave enough, buy it anywhere around here and keep this as a stop loss, 396. 395 actually. Keep 395 as a stop loss. Yeah. Keep 395 as a stop loss. Why are we keeping 395 as a stop loss? This, the low was 395.15. The 3-day low is my stop loss. So I can buy it anytime between 399, or if it gives me a chance, what you can do is you can keep a system order ready at 397 or 398. If it gets filled in by a wick, you are lucky. Right? So I'm expecting this 200-day moving average to get breached and broken upside. And if that happens, first targets are over here. 409, 4010. 410, then 420, and then 426 or 427. So first target 410, 418, 420, and 426, 427. Yeah. Any questions?
No, sir.
EQQ and AMD. Oh, Vivek. For you, TQQ is always a pleasure to be analyzed.
Thank you, sir.
At 22, first target 29 or 30. But if you have entered, only then. And don't expect to happen within a week or so. So this is a weekly chart.
Sure.
It has just turned flattish and tried to climb up. So wait for it to cross over. First target will be 2550, which is a 20 moving average. After that, this. It is still bearish super trend. So let that super trend cross over and then look at bigger numbers. So first target 25, 25.50 on this thing. If you want to enter in, this is a weekly chart, so you can look at 21, 21. Look to buy at around 20.95 or 21.0, 21.10. If you get a chance to buy at 21.10, look to buy at 21.10, sell at 25 or 24.75. MACD crossover on weekly chart has just happened, but yet to enter the histogram levels. CCI moving up to the zero levels, close to zero levels is good. Stochastic at 32 and 25, positive crossover is also good. Right? This is a weekly chart. On the day, super trend bullish but flattish, which is why it is in a consolidating zone here. Clear? Now, if I can give you a target immediately, somebody just do a calculation. 1993 minus 1685. What is the value? 1993 minus 1685.
So 308.
Multiply that by 2.
616.
616 plus 19.93.
2609.
That's the first target. And that matches with this super trend zone over here of 2571. So your first target is anywhere between 2550 and 26. Buying levels, you're buying somewhere at about 21, stop loss of 20.75 and target of 2575, 2550 and 26. Vivek helps you? Gaurav, Vivek, Muni, does it help you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So the target calculation was also done based on support trend as well as on the support trend levels over here. I've actually given you guys a secret. If you can watch carefully, you would realize what my secret is there to calculate my targets. All right. Next one is
Sir,
AMD.
wait, sir. Before we move,
Tell me.
last week you had shared a trade for January end expiry
Yeah.
and strike price 30. So last Friday I have taken that trade. That time premium price was 57 cents. On Friday I was able to purchase that at 45 cents.
Lovely.
And
Is it running now?
it would be around 45. I can check that. So that's January 20th expiry, strike price 30. Last price is 42 cents. So I had bought
slightly
in the morning.
Yeah, no worries. So 30 is not far away, and that is January and January 20th expiry, right?
Yes, January
That's
29th expiry and strike price 30.
Yeah.
Premium
That's
price
easily
45
possible.
cents.
That's easily possible.
I'm in at 46 cents.
So both you and Kamal on the same price.
Right. And also along with that, although this we had not discussed, but I did take another set of calls for December and expiry.
Yeah.
Strike price 26. And my average price is 70 cents. Currently, last price is 68 cents.
Well, 26 is what I've already told you. I've already given the target to you here, 25, 50 and 26, which I would expect by 10th of December latest. 10th or 12th of December latest. So if your call is expiring in December end and this gives you the price by mid-December, it should be giving you a big bonanza move after that. Does that help you, Kamal?
Yes, sir. Both these trades are based on your last week analysis since
Well,
26 you had mentioned as target and
yeah.
30 as the target for January end.
Yes.
And that's why I have taken these option trades.
I would say even go higher target if 30 is to be achieved, because this on a day chart gap down will comfortably get filled in. And after 26, the next target will be to fill this up at 29 and 30. So
yeah, so I'll be sharing these trades in the premium group. I saw yesterday evening that these have executed. I had placed it on Thursday.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right. Anybody else? We were supposed to do AMD, if I'm not mistaken.
The dash is requested. DASH.
Dash.
No, AMD.
AMD also. Vivek did TQQ and AMD.
Yeah. AMD from Vivek.
All right. So, Vivek, on AMD, number one, the 8 moving average is giving it a support. That's the first thing. Support trend bullish, flattish, slightly climbing up, and again consolidating. Right
Yes, sir.
now, if I was to give you a target for this, first target would be here, 80, 81. Then the gap filling, 85.
Yeah.
80, 81 and 85. You're taking delivery of shares, am I right?
Sir, I'm looking to take a call or a put on this.
Looking to take a call or put.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm watching it, sir. That's it.
So that means you still haven't entered it.
Mhm. Yeah, because it's already at oversold region. So
Yes, it is. But I'm not expecting it to fall much.
because I was reading somewhere that it's getting weaker. So
It is this zone which is indicating the weakness, but this is also the zone which is showing consolidation before the spike up.
okay.
I'll tell you why. This is a 65 line.
Mhm.
Right? This is a 65 line. It was, the prices were below. Now 65 has come below the prices. The prices were below 65. Now the prices are above 65.
Okay.
So if you are looking to buy, look to buy anywhere between 70 and 71, 71.50.
Okay.
Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The lowest point is over here, which is 71.57 for last full week.
Yep.
Right. So if 71.50 gets touched even by a wick, it will get filled in and then it will climb back. I'm not expecting it to fall down at all. If you ask me,
Sir,
I'm not expecting it to fall.
I have a little observation. Like if you look at the second last candle, the candle
Yeah.
is very tiny, and look at the volume. So that is something that the institutions are buying here. So
Yes.
But it's saying more of an upside rejection, right? What the
It
candle
is
is
showing
saying.
you an upside rejection because the institutions are buying. They won't let it rise up fast. That means their appetite has not yet been filled in,
yeah,
which is why the next half day candle was in red.
Hmm.
So that is what I'm saying. If you're looking to buy this, buy it at the weekly close low. Weekly low is 71.57. So I would
Mhm.
place an order at 71, 75 or 72 also. 71, 75 or 72 also I'll place an order. If that
Okay.
gets filled in, there is a big up move expected to fill this gap.
Okay.
To fill this gap at 84, which is a $10 run.
Mhm.
$10 run would be almost a 15% profit for you. From here, at 71 to 80, 84 is a $15 run, which would mean approximately about a 20% profit run for you.
Yep.
Right? Now, somebody with the calculator again, please. 60.11 minus 54.57. 60.11 minus 54.57.
5.54.
Multiply that by 2.
1108.
Add 60.11 to it.
71.19.
71.19 was the first target, which has been achieved now. After the super trend turned bullish, That was the first target, which is now been achieved. 71.19,
9.
right? So exactly where I've told you to buy it now, it is 71, 75 or 72. Anything will give you the first target. The next target will be upward. And that is exactly why it went up. It came down to 71. Came down to 71 here and gone back at 75. And if you look at it, that target was decided on this date, on 10th of November. I decided the target on 10th of November in the evening, and by 15th November, that target was overachieved. Clear?
Interesting. Thank you.
Interesting?
Yep.
All right. Dash.
Sir, it's DoorDash delivery company.
All right.
Food delivery in Canada.
Now, food delivery company in Canada in the season of December, you can expect business to be booming for them. Why is that? Nobody wants to step out to buy. They would rather be in the comfort of the home, in the warmth of the home, and order for food. So, with that parameter or that bias in your mind, now tell me what you want to do. Number one, that bias. Number two, super trend bullish turned flattish, day chart bouncing off from the super trend level. Very clearly, look at 65 moving average giving it its support. I haven't looked at the other three indicators below. I'm looking at super trend and 65 giving it a support. Bouncing back from 53 levels or 52 levels or 53 levels. So if you're getting this to buy at around 52 or 53, at 53, which is the low over here on 22nd of November, I would be a buyer at 53.10 or 53.15. Be a buyer at 53.10, 53.15. Stop loss at 52.60 or 52.50. A 60-cent stop loss for a first target to the high over here, which is 65 or 64.50. Even 65.50 is fine. Straight. 65.68, 65.50 is the first target. Thereafter, of course, higher targets can be seen. 71, 76, 83, but don't wait till 83. Just pick it up and go. Even if you get 65 from 50, from 51 or 53, if you get 65, you will make a good $10, which is almost about 20% return on your capital, which should be very, very healthy returns. Just negative crossover happened, fallen down, taken support at 65 moving average, and look at your histograms turning green. Your CCI at minus 51, stochastic at 33.41, Minute you see a crossover, you will see the jumping up. Right? So I would be a very strong buyer with this as a bias. The 65 moving average, the 20 moving average, and the super trend all within striking distances. And the kind of business they are in, it is going to be adding to the value in the business. The environment is going to add value. So look for a uptick from here. Clear? Questions? Anything else? Which is the next one they want? Raj Lakshmi wants IBM. Somebody wants Tesla. Of course, Gaurav wants. Gaurav, you already done CM and NDR yourself.
Yes, sir.
You're just taking confirmation. But I think Canadian Bank, we are already Imperial, we already decided, we had discussed it last time also.
We did it a couple of weeks back, but this is a fresh breakout.
It is a fresh breakout, yes. 1 and 2 levels broken out over here. Look for this gap to get filled in. There's a small gap here, 63 and 63.50. I don't know if they will bring it to fill it in or not.
Right.
This 50 cents, I don't know. They may not bring it to fill it in also. They may not bring it in.
Because Ispana, there's one more thing. If we look at it with a line chart on the weekly,
I saw your weekly. I saw your weekly chart on the.
Right. So Isme, if we look at the line chart on the weekly, it forms a V, goes up a bit, then it's not exactly a cup and handle, but it comes down to take the previous high of that V as a support and then rises again, and then it's broken out at that. It's already closed, beaten the super trend level. It's closed on a daily basis above the super trend level.
Yes, let me see if I can draw a free hand. It looks like a cup and handle, definitely. I can't draw a free hand. I can't draw a free hand. I'm bad at drawing anyway. Yes, this looks like a cup and handle.
Right, this one.
And this is the handle.
Yes, and the handle has a closing above the super trend also.
Yes, and the handle has closed above the super trend, and the super trend has just turned bullish now.
Yes.
Just turned bullish.
Right.
But at the same time, MACD crossover, lines are into the histogram. CCI climbing, stochastic climbing on a weekly chart.
Right, and the MACD is even more deadly on the day chart. It has a positive crossover just happened above the zero line, way above the zero line.
All right. Gaurav, one more thing. Again, do your calculator on. You bring a calculator on now. Now I'll give you the weekly target on this. Without the support, I'll give you the weekly target. 62.79.
Right.
Minus 55.35.
Right.
Multiply that by 2.
Right.
Add to 62.79.
77.67.
See that target?
Right.
And that is this support trend here. And that is this support trend here. Now we did the calculation on a mathematical formula, and the support trend is giving you the same response. but weekly hai, so be very careful. Don't expect it this month.
Right.
This is what you can expect in January, mid-January or end January. If you're taking a call, you know your strike price, you know your expiry. January end call, you know your strike price and you know your expiry.
Right.
Targets given to you, expiry given to you, weekly trend. Look at it on a day chart. And if you look at it even on a cup and handle, if you look at it, the cup and handle, the low over here was 55.35. The neckline break is at this thing. Take it upward and you will get your targets. The rule on cup and handle is also similar. Am I right, Gaurav?
Right.
Cup and handle, the height of the depth of the cup and your targets are known to you accordingly.
Right. But so because the cup and handle was on a weekly, so uska horizon, because the width of the cup is big, so the uska horizon bhi utna bada hoga. So that
Yes.
would probably drag to mid Feb.
Yes.
क्योंकि जो day chart में हमें दिख रहा है, this is just the handle.
Yes.
Handle and some disturbance.
So
but
you can
yeah,
look for it by about Jan end or mid Feb also.
mid Feb. Yes, sir.
Yes. But if you look at it on a day chart, you're currently here. First target, second target, and if you look very carefully, all these gaps have been filled in. These gaps have been filled in. They have been filled in over here.
Sir, इसमें the gap that is available is at 6705.
67.
6705.
We're talking about this gap.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not been filled in. This entire run, entire fall from
Correct.
18th of August to this date has not been filled in. This gap is filled in, so this is waiting to get filled in. And this will get filled in what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So expect this in the next 10 working days.
Okay.
The fall is always faster, but the climb will
Climb
take
is
almost
gradual.
double.
Right.
So expect this in the next 2 weeks. You want a quick trade, look for a strike price of about 69 for second week of December expiry. Second Friday of December. Call of 69, strike price 69, expiring on second Friday of December. What is the premium?
So Toronto Exchange पे I hardly do
ये
any.
टोरंटो में कोई प्रीमियम नहीं होगा, इसको आपको देखना पड़ेगा जो to see it on NASDaq.
Right.
On,
I normally stick to equities only. I just take some options on TQQ. Otherwise, I stick to equities only.
we'll ask Munir to work on it. No issues. So Munir, look at strike price of 53, yeah, for mid-December, Friday.
For CIBC?
For CM.
हाँ, CIBC.
Yeah, CIBC. No, CM only.
Sir, वो बैंक का नाम CIBC है.
CIBC, yeah.
Okay, and what is the strike price?
Strike price 53 for second Friday of December.
So 16 December and 53. Sir, strike price 68, right?
Strike price 53, expiring on second Friday of December.
Sir, ये CM dot. This is
This is
NYSE.
New York. This is New York Stock
Right.
Exchange.
तो न्यूयॉर्क
Sir,
वाले तो देख
yeah, it's already trading at currently $65. So we want to
Currently at
see it.
$65?
Yeah,
सर वो
CMA.
टोरंटो वाला टोरंटो इज 65 दिस ये आपने वो
This is-
NYSE वाला खोला हुआ है
ये NYSE वाला खोला हुआ है 58 48 पे ट्रेड कर रहा है.
Okay,
सर
the one
ये
I
What you're watching is TSX.
नहीं नहीं दिस इज जो आपने खोला हुआ है सर दिस इज NYSE
हाँ, नहीं, but when Munir is watching TSX.
राइट
yeah, it's TAC.
हाँ
This
TSE
is
TSX
this is NYSE, New York.
सर 52.5 का है 15 सेंट्स का कॉल
52.5 is 15 cents.
राइट फॉर December
वही ले
16
लो, वही ले लो यार, वही ले लो.
NYSE.
So how many dollars for a one contract? $15 or $1.5? No,
$15
$15 for one contract. It is worth it. It's a clean
Okay.
target. It's a clean target.
Sir, even at the money, like if we take a $50, 50 strike, it's just asking is 65, bid is 55. So the mid would be 60 cent.
Yeah, but that is $60 and this is $15. Just a $2 above gives you your investment drops to about 1/3. 60 and 15 is almost one fourth. So I
But
can
there
buy
is a-
4
sir-
contracts in
sir-
$60.
Sir, there is a big difference in delta as well. Like for the 50, it's 0.3. So, and for 52.5, it's 0.081. So it's a big difference in delta as well. So
Yeah, because
0.3.
at this point, nobody expects it to go up to 53 or 50 to 50. Whereas we are clearly seeing a 50 to 50.
Yeah.
So even if it goes up, it doesn't touch 50 to 50, it touches 51. This $15 will give you a huge jump up.
Mhm.
I mean, now it is your risk appetite, how you want to take it, 50 or 50 or 50, 52, 50 or 51 or 50. That is your risk appetite. But the idea is the trade is clearly identified. This trade is clearly identified because these gaps have to get filled in. And these are just what? 10% away gaps. And within the next 3 weeks, a 10% rally is not difficult. Right?
Yep.
KKKB dash. All right. NTR.
it's an NTR on PO क्योंकि that's a very beautiful chart
Why can't I see it here?
so look at the gap to be filled
The gap is already in the process of being filling.
right sir
Right? So this actually should have been picked up on this Marubazu candle.
sir I did share it at that point also that is likely long back so I then took a trade I entered at 100 exited at 105 booked my profits got lost and then I have re-entered this I think at 108.9 now
108.9 now.
for the gap closure now
And your target is clearly 113 or
113
116.
Yep. I will be outed by 113.
No, yeah, be a little bit greedy here. Get out at 115, 115, 115, 116 comfortably. Now,
Okay.
got a one good thing over here in our favor. Crossover happened. The lines, both the lines are in the histogram, but they are late. That's the only negative point. Good thing is 8 has crossed 20 just on Thursday.
Right.
Super 10 has turned flat. And getting ready to be close at 112. So in your case, I don't know what quantity you picked up, but 112 and 115 are very clear targets, very clean targets.
Right. I believe it's small quantities, but nevertheless, I mean, I think the targets are more important.
Yeah. Now, in case if this breaks at 112, if 112.21 or 112.50 breaks, you will have a huge target up on the upswing. Let's say, take your calculator out, 105.66 minus 95.50. So 105.5 minus 95.50. That makes it about $10, right? So $20. So 125 is the first target.
Okay.
And that is also the target given to you on your support trend level at 125. So if you are going to get greedy at 115, start trailing your stop losses, or take your capital out and whatever is left, take the target at 125. So whatever is free, keep your target at 125. So take your capital plus 3 or 4% profit on your capital. So you made your basic profit. Whatever is pending, balance target 125.
Right.
So now you have maths to work out on your own.
Right.
Right. The next chart, next thing is Tesla with Munir and IBM for Raj Lakshmi. Tesla has a lot of baggage of Twitter.
Yes, but it bounced from the 165 last week and went directly up to 183.
Yes, it did. I will not deny you that. It is just above your 8 moving average. Your 20 is above your super trend flat level of 194. So you want it to go up.
Yes, and there is a clear divergence. If you see the recent low and previous low, it make a new lower low, but the RSI is making higher high. It's going up higher. It's showing the strength. Yeah, and the next low, and you see the CCI, even RSI, it has a lot of strength.
No doubt. No doubt.
But
No
this is another strategy we will discuss sometime, like the divergent. It worked very well.
Yeah. The divergence will always give you the trend. But in this case, I mean, if I was to trade this, I would look to buy at 172 because there is a gap between 172 and 169.
Yeah.
The high over here is 171 and the low here is 172. $1.5 gap is there. So if I was to buy it, I would buy it at around 171 or 171.50. Low, keeping this low at 166 as the stop loss. Oh God, that's a big low.
Big loss.
That's a very big low. Yeah, that's a big $4 or $5 low. And all happened within the same week. If you look at the weekly chart, it opened and closed at the same level. It will be almost like a doji. Why is this happening like this? 175.
Sir, Vivek,
Weekly
sir,
chart is still looking weak. If you look at it, weekly chart is still very
Yeah.
clearly downtrend.
Yes.
Vivek, sir,
Yes, sir.
my observation on these divergences is like there is an overall trend. For example, now it's a downtrend. The
Yes.
divergence that is formed in this downtrend is short-lived. It's not a long-lived thing. So it's like good for a very quick trades, but it is because the overall trend would dominate the smaller uptrends, right?
Yes.
That's my understanding on these divergences.
Yes, you are right. Divergent rule is 1, 3, and 5. So you can play 1 candle, you can play 3 candle, or maximum 5 candle, not more than that.
And that is exactly
So
how
what
it
is the
played out
point there?
in last week. That is exactly how it played out last week. 135. It played exactly there.
Uh,
3
the
into 5.
Vivek is asking then why to play it. It gave a
Yeah,
quick.
then why to play it? Like because like if your
It
overall trend is down, why don't why would
it
think of a lower target?
it gave you a quick trade, like the Tesla was 67 cent for the 177.5, and because of that divergent, next day it was in $6. So now you can imagine the profit from 67 to $6 for one contract only. Even if you take a one contract on divergent, you can make a good money.
Vivek, what happens is it's all the attitude of the trader. If he's a quick trader, quick in, quick out, unlike you have a research responsibility. So you are not a quick in, quick out trader. You are more of a swing trader or a investor kind of a person. Whereas Munir is sitting on the terminal. So he would like to look for a quick in, quick out. That's the difference of the attitude of the trader. The profile of the trader has changed.
Okay.
Right? But your point is well taken that divergences are only for 1, 3, and 5 candles. And if you look at this, this was paid out in only 3 candles. But if you trade this on an hourly chart or a 30-minute chart, you will realize that even more. See this? The full day, it is being just stagnating.
Okay.
Just stagnant. Sideways movement completely.
Okay, sir.
Right? So that is the difference. I mean, if you look at the weekly chart, see that the 8 moving average, see 20 coming down, see the super trend downward, clear downward trend. Clear downward trend. So same chart, 3 different time frames will give you 3 different analysis. But all depends upon how somebody is trading this. What is his frame of mind when he's trading it. So the weekly chart, Munir will not even think of entering in the chart now. Ask Munir to enter the chart now, he'll say, boss, no way am I even thinking of touching this chart. Why is that? Look at your MACD lines. We discussed this last week also. It's as good as a railway track running parallel down. No signs of reversal. Look at the 8 moving, look at the super trend, look at all your moving averages coming down. And look at the Bollinger Band, expanding mode on the downside. So he's going to fall down definitely. But within that fall, for an hour or 2 or 3 hours, Munir may find out a divergence and take a trade for only 2 or 3 hours and take his money and he's out. So small money, but regular income. That is how divergences will be played out in the whole case.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Welcome. Which is the next thing? After Tesla, we have IBM for Rajalakshmi and Enbridge. Let's do IBM for Rajalakshmi. Rajalakshmi, weekly chart looks very promising. If you're on the call, can you unmute and speak?
I'm not on a call, sir. I'm on the equity, so I have the equity. So just looking, this is the right time to sell
Right time to sell.
or book some profit.
Good holding or a small holding?
It is from employee stock one, so
Employee
it
stock
is
one.
it is yeah. So it's already gotten a discounted price over a period of time from last year.
Wow.
Rajalakshmi, I mean, at this point of time, my first target for you would be over here, 162.
Okay, so then I will hold.
Naturally, the greed will always step in, I know. But the first target on the weekly chart is 162, but then don't expect that before February.
That's okay, sir. I
Let's
think
look at the day chart. This is a very interesting chart. Wow. Guys, look at this as a day chart. If somebody was to trade this trade would have been beautiful. But if I was supposed to trade this is the entry point, 128, which is a gap up entry, right? And 121 minus 115 gives you about 6. 6 is 18. 18 plus 121 is 140. Now, so Lakshmi, 154 first place or 162? First target 154, next target 162.
okay, sir.
That's the way I would look at it, because you want a clean uptrend. Now, look at your day chart. Clean uptrend. Your 8 has been held, clearly going and holding even over here. 20 again climbing at an angle of what, 70-75 degrees. Super trend climbing, exhaust sideways, consolidation sideways, and again few days of sideways consolidation only 3 or 4 days, right? So look for it to climb up. At this point of time, your 34 also is climbing, 8 is climbing, 20 is climbing, and 65 is absolutely below the lower Bollinger Band. And once 65 crosses this 200-day moving average, this will become like a rocket further. So 65-200 is your golden crossover. And that is when everybody, including retailers, will start buying this.
Sir,
Yeah.
what is the high on Thursday, day before? So
150.46.
Yeah. So looking at that, it could take a small correction before going further up.
Up to 146. A $2 correction.
Or 142.
Or one. This is the low.
143.
The lowest of the week is 145.94. The lowest for the week was 145.94.
I was looking at super trend and mid Bollinger Band
No
level.
way. It will not break the low of the last week. The low of last week is 145.94. Low is 146.45, 145.94 or 146. That is the low. And clean Marubazu candle. After that, you have Again, a green candle, which is a consolidating candle, again to an uptick. Look at this crossover happening over here. 1-8 has crossed 65, 34, and 20 altogether. Almost at the same time. Look at the MACD crossover happening. Very strong crossover. First three candles, the blue line, the fifth candle, the orange line, and you are clearly in. You are clearly in. Breached at all.
What?
146 will not get reached this week. If somebody is looking to enter IBM, then 146 or long duration 140. But it's a clean breakout. Yeah. Which is the next chart we're looking at? Enbridge and all right.
So Enbridge, Wix, and BNS, but if possible in 5 minutes, so we can move to our next session.
Done. But Enbridge, he wants it on NYQ or Toronto?
I think let's take Toronto.
Yes, Toronto.
Weekly chart, bullish, engulfing Marubazo, close to the super trend being attacked. If this super trend turns bullish, your first target is 59.75. Clearly, nothing can help you out. This target will come and will come by this year itself, before your Christmas. Crossover, you are into your MACD. Look at CCI climbing up. Look at stochastic climbing. Candles are very bullish. Very smooth uptick on the 8 moving average and 20 moving average. Day chart. Your 200-day moving average has been crossed. 8 is climbing, super trend clearly climbing and about to break into 20 moving average, the mid Bollinger Band. First targets, this has already been breached. First target is over here, 57. Then 57.50 or 59.50. Day charts. If you ask me, your entry point on Enbridge was when the super trend turned green, was over here at 52.50. Entry was over here. When entry was here at 51.43 or 51 or 52.43, your target has already been achieved. First target has already been achieved at 55 or 56, which is why this as a next target as 57 is round the corner. 57 and then straight targets on top. And 59.50. So if you're holding this, are you in the trade?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Are you wanting to enter in, or what are you planning to do?
I was just looking at it. Yeah. If it's a good time to enter, then yes, I will enter.
No, the right time to enter would have been somewhere over here at 52.50. So that you already missed. Now the next entry could be possibly back at 54. At 54.25 could give you a entry level if it gives you a correction.
Okay.
So you can
Thank you.
always keep an order in the system at 54.25, stop loss being the low over here at 53.25. 53.25 is your stop loss and 54.25 is your entry price. $1 stop loss. Targets are already clearly identified to you, 57 and 59. Or secondly, if there's a gun put to your head that you must buy it immediately, buy this with this as your stop loss, low of this candle as a stop loss, which is 54.50. You can buy it currently at 56, 54.50 stop loss, and target are same, 57 and 59.50. But expect these targets by Christmas only. So you'll get a month approximately to achieve these targets. Helps you?
Yes, thanks a lot.
Right, Zia? All right. Zia, if Phillips is you are looking at which exchange?
We can check it at New York.
LI. So PHILI.
No, I don't. I see Philip Morris.
Is it PHG, second one?
Zia, which one is it? Philip Morris or Philip Singh?
PHG, yes.
PHG, second answer.
Currently ruling at 14.75. Zia?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Sir, at 15% discount, it would be less than $14.
There's something weird. So many gaps. I mean,
I know.
is that normal?
This is a weekly chart. There's one gap here. This is a gap, second gap here.
The daily has far so many.
This is a weekly chart and pure downtrend.
So what's the level for mid Bollinger Band?
For weekly or
13.6
daily?
on daily. So
1366.
and with 15% discount, he would be getting at 1255, which is still profit.
This is almost lowest point over here.
So looking here,
But isn't the stock is trending low?
Is it? It's a low trending stock, and on a weekly chart it is very clearly low. On a weekly chart, it's a very clearly low trending stock. And yes, you're right, Raj Lakshmi. It's a very clearly low trending stock.
Yeah, because just wondering, would it be a good idea to put in that case if it's a weak, low trending one?
I'm trying to figure that out only. I'm also satisfied because this is turning flat, but the trend is clearly down. And on a weekly chart, such a long trend, it reminds me of Shopify. Fall, 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 fall. Not looking at all. Not looking anywhere else.
Can we see on monthly chart?
Yeah, well, weekly is bad. Monthly will equally be bad. What do you want to see in monthly now? Monthly is even more terrifying.
It's falling knife.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lower Bollinger Band are still not.
Yeah, you're realizing this now?
Oh.
So its volumes are typically 3 and 4 million, sometimes even 1 million. Trading
Yeah.
volumes.
Daily volumes,
Doesn't,
no?
doesn't seem that high.
Yeah,
think it
2.5
is.
million, 2 million, 3 million on a daily volume.
It's kind of, is it dumped?
No, it is basically what I understand with the company is that it's in a downtrend, and I don't know if they're trying to revive the company and all or not yet. There must be some internal news on this company. Zia, do you have some internal news with the company since you're working with them?
Yes, for 5 quarters they have been in loss, especially after COVID. Yeah, they had like some crisis, so they are like firing maybe 4,000 employees already. Yeah, so there was some bad news. Yes.
So have they already reduced the employee count or they are planning to?
Yes, they already did it.
Any plans or revival on the company account? Yeah.
I have not heard any news like that. Yeah, but
So
they have
they're giving
made
you
a
a
lot of
15% discount on the market price, or they're giving you 15% on a fixed price?
Employee
yes,
stock will be usually on the market price only, sir.
Then it is already at 12.75 or 12.15.
It is risky,
which is
right?
anyway the low on 3rd of November, the lowest low.
It looks risky to even to
It
buy
is.
like employee
It
stock
is.
option.
It is looking, no, buying stock option. But then again, if the company is offering it, then there's a lock-in period. You can't sell it off early. I'm sure they
yeah, they
also
actually
have that.
No,
they
it
give it
is.
also in installments on payroll installment deduction.
Yeah, correct.
All
So
right.
only the vested you cannot sell it immediately. But if you're buying it on
Yes.
like a employee permitted percentage of stock, I think we can sell it.
Yes, sir.
All
So
right.
unless it is vested, then he
All
should
right.
have
Yeah.
That
flexibility.
is all fine. So 13 and
So if
11,
if
so 125.
he's buying at current price, then it would come around 12.5.
Mm.
And in such conditions, I think there will be no dividends also, right?
Your dividend payout should still be as it is.
Mm.
And there shouldn't be.
Yeah, my first target to you will be over here, 1650.
Okay.
That's the first target for you. So if you're looking to make good money immediately, buy and getting rid of it. That's the first target. But if you're getting it at 12.15 or 12.75, anyway, you will be making good money. So you can always buy immediately and immediately sell, get out at 15 also. But your first target will be 1660. The low
What
over
about
here was 1175. Super trend turning is 13. That's almost $125, $1.25. Give it a 3-time multiplication. That makes it about 3.75. That makes it 16 something, which is why your first target is 1660, 1650.
What about the downside?
What about the
The downside, how far can it go
how
downside?
far can it go? I will not expect it to go very far because this $15.10 has already been achieved recently on 14th of November. And that has been a retracement back. So look at this immediately at 1650. Thereafter, if the company announces schemes and all to go up, you will look for higher targets. But that is very far away. That is very far away. Why am I saying that? Because your monthly chart is clearly down.
And lower Bollinger Band is still downwards.
There is no chance of this is becoming flattening at all yet.
The announcement to fire the employees, this was just last month in October.
In
So I think-
October,
Okay. I think it's the sentiment playing a role.
yes.
Yeah,
Sir,
so there has been some buying which has happened after that announcement.
So
Okay. Then it
The
is a good
company-
time to buy, isn't it, sir?
Means people have already bought, and that's why you see the price has gone up. Vivek sir, if you can take again to daily chart.
what was the day of announcement, please? If you can just give me the date, exact date, or the week.
just 1 second.
It must have been somewhere around 19th of November or somewhere around 3rd of November.
No, it was actually, I believe, in the maybe 20 or around about the last week of October or the second last week.
There's a news on 24th October that Philips took out 4,000 jobs.
Oh, there
Yes.
is cutting jobs is a different issue, but offering shares,
Oh,
No,
offering shares.
offering,
No,
it's
offering
just
is, or it is always
policy,
there,
it's
sir.
just a policy.
Yeah. So all companies provide
All-
that option.
So there's one more thing I want to add. I was quickly
Sure.
looking through, and I haven't gone through everything, but quickly looking at some things. There's a piece of news that I just shared in the chat that institutional owners, which are about 50% of the stock owners, are likely to take dramatic actions since a 5.6% drop in price and 1 year losses. And then there's also another recent news of some technical issues on their ventilators and stuff, and a news that they have made some filing around some bad foam in August, October. So I mean, this is a stock that probably one would need to consider fundamentally as well, because with such a strong downtrend that has been seen continuously and a lot of news coming in, I think some need of fundamental analysis is also on the call.
yeah, you're very true. Yeah, and the news has not always been positive in this case. With the investors
Yes.
wanted to take a drastic steps and all these things, that's all going to be giving it a negative effect.
Right.
So-
There are the 50% are institutional ownership is 50% with institutional as per the article I quickly skimmed through, and 37% is retail. So I mean, there's also going to be a power tussle in the price.
Which is why you see that price hike and then
The gaps.
yeah, and with gaps. So what I would assume is that if this has happened somewhere around 24th of October, this gap over here at 1st week of November, 3rd November, people have started exercising the options and buying it from there. Staff has
Yes.
exercised the options of buying it and getting out.
Uh,
So
Not sure.
I'm looking
Vivek
at
sir,
that. People have
it looks
started.
to me that it can go up till 16 and reverse, sir.
Yeah, that's exactly where I've told him.
Yeah, 16 and reverse
1650,
because
1650 what I already told him. But before that is this 1525. This reversal point over here, 3 days of
Mhm.
reversal. This will also act like a resistance over here, which is also the super trend levels here. 15 and 1525 is the super trend level here, which will act like a resistance, and thereafter this is the price 1625, 1650.
It is currently taking Keltner curves as it's a SMA as support. So I think like there is a short-term bullish run
Trend.
on a day chart, not yet conclusive, sir.
Yeah, I agree. See, that's always
Yes, sir. Can you also take on weekly chart? The super trend level
There you
on
go.
the weekly chart. Super trend and mid Bollinger Band.
1633.
Yeah.
That is exactly the same levels which Vivek was talking about,
mentioned.
1625, 1650.
Right. So short term target.
Short term $1, $2 run, and then
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
So for ZI, it would be plus $1.5.
Yeah, or else you can short at that time, right? Maybe get up.
Yeah, so that is what you should do. You should buy and you should be getting out over here.
Yes.
Or you should be buying a put over here for a target strike price of 12 or 14. 12 or 13, sorry, 13. All right. Anybody else? Any more questions? Any more counters to be discussed?
So Hitesh had requested BNS, Scotiabank, and then we can end with VIX, which is the volatility index.
DNS.
BNS.
BNS, sir. BNS, Scotiabank. It's misleading ticker.
Bank
Yes.
of Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto is fine. I believe Hitesh might be okay with Toronto.
Yes, sir. Toronto only.
oh, lovely.
No commission on Wealth Simple Trade.
All right. Hitesh, weekly chart. Clear uptrend. 3 white soldiers. Make it almost 5 white soldiers. Forget this red candle in between. 4 white soldiers. 8 clearly curved up. Crossover happened, but not yet entered the MACD, the histograms. CCI positive 62. Slanting, sloping up. Stochastic at 44 and 30, which is positive, bullish stochastic. On a weekly chart, the super trend and 200-day moving average may almost hit simultaneously. 73.70 and 72.70, $1 away to each other. So they almost may break in the same week or close to each other. Weekly chart. You are looking to enter or you're already in the trade?
Sir, there means ESOPs basically.
All right.
And result is on 29th. So that's why I was thinking what to.
All right. Day chart. Support trend climbing, but at not at acute angle, at a slow angle of about 25-30 degrees. Right? The biggest advantage is your 65 moving average is below your support trend. So your support trend will give a support, 65 will give a support, and the movement will continue on top. Now, one important thing to note over here will be, 1 second, 65.75. $1, so make it $3, 68, 71, 64. That's $2. $2 is $6. $6 is 71. Already done. If you ask me, target on this breakout has already been achieved at 71.25. But your next extended target is over here, 74. because this gap is going to get been filled in. $0.50 gap gets filled in over here. Right? That is number one. Number two, rules of the candlesticks. After the super trend breaks, minute your candlesticks body becomes small, it means consolidation or distribution taking place, which is exactly what is happening in the last 4 days. This was, of course, a half a day, but it is almost small bodied candle, distribution taking place, volumes going down. So there is consolidation happening here. I cannot say distribution here, but I can say consolidation happening over here. I mean, those who had bought it over here are booking some profits over here. So this target of 74 is around the corner, which is a 5% jump up. Yeah.
Sir, I'm looking at it on the day chart. It's the price is currently very close to the 100 moving average.
This is the 200-day moving average of 78.
Right. That's 200.
This
But
is 60. This is 65, 68.
Right.
So something in between at
uh,
around
it's
70, 72 should be your.
71.49.
Yes. So that is your 100-day moving average.
Right. So
Right.
so the price is pretty close to that. Do we look at a chance of reversal on there?
You could have a chance of reversal. I'm not going to say no, which is why this consolidation is happening over here.
Mhm.
But my whole thing is because the volumes are almost
Right.
dying,
Okay.
and half-day volume has been higher than the other volumes. This
Right.
half-day volume is 2.88 million, which is as good as this or this,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Maruvazu candle. Half-day
Right.
volume of 2.88 is as good as the Maruvazu candle. So, and close near the high of the end of the week.
Mhm.
You look at the weekly chart, it closed almost towards the high end of the week.
Right.
So when the week is closing at the highest point, next week has to be bullish. That is the standard rule. And
Mhm.
it's a Maruvazu candle, weekly Maruvazu candle.
Okay.
It's a weekly
Correct.
Maruvazu candle closing towards the high end of the week. And next week will have to be bullish, come what may. And this 4 days, 3.5 days of consolidation was basically a breather for this Maruvazu. So you had a breather, you had a Maruvazu candle here. You had consolidation of about 6 days here, 6 trading days. Again, 1/3 of this Maruvazu candle was not broken. Again, Maruvazu candle. The close of Maruvazu, which is the high at 70.21, right? Was just
Mhm.
tested on this date at 70. And after that, it has not been touched. So Monday close was just tested on Tuesday. And after that, it has not been touched. So it's going to be a bullish week for it, which is why 74 is my target in the next 7 to 8 trading days. So by about Wednesday, first Wednesday of December, your target of 74 should be achieved.
Right.
Right? Lovely. Anybody else? Any more stocks you want to discuss? Can you still see my?
Sir, I had requested VIX, sir.
Oh yes, you have requested VIX. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry.
That's fine, sir.
Sorry, I was muted. I said the same. VIX.
VIX is on WCB.
The first one, yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. What do you want to know about VIX now?
Sir, this is basically the fear index, sir.
Yeah.
So
It is falling.
yeah,
The
it should
index
be
is
like,
falling.
I saw this one, the last candle,
Yeah.
although it looks like a death cross, I mean, like a doji,
Yeah.
but you can see a little bit of divergence kicking in, probably. Could you explain on that? That candle and then last candle, if you put it
Yes.
into the RSI,
Yeah.
that basically shows some divergence. But I'm just observing VIX. It's expensive, but
At 20.5 and VIX is falling.
yeah.
It's basically going to make the trader's life more difficult.
Mhm.
That means the volatility in the trading will now come down further. So when
Okay.
volatility comes down further, what happens is it will maintain its trend in the long term, but start trading very, very narrowly in the trading range will start becoming lesser and lesser. So your stop losses on both the sides will get hit very frequently because your trading range will become narrower.
Okay.
Right? And at the same time, your overall trend of the market will be maintained. Overall trend in the market will be maintained. Now, overall trend in the market is
Down.
Dow Jones. And Dow, as I've always told you, is still very, very positive. The trend is upward. Shoo, what happened? Clear trend?
Yep.
Right? So trend is upward. That will be continue to maintain. Now, what will happen is your candles will become smaller in size. You will not get big Marubazu candles. You look at the size of the candle as compared to this one. This is small, this is small. Look at this candle sizes. The wicks are going to hit both sides. So your stop losses on the range will get hit both sides, but your direction will remain up. For a trader, it is worst when wicks will come in single digits or very low double digits. So at 20, let it fall down to 13 and 14 or 12, and you will find people are cribbing that the market is a very boring market. We are not getting a chance to trade. That is exactly what VIX is now going to do. Now, whenever you see a VIX of this high at 25, 26 on 10th of November, see that? See the movement in the candle? Look at the candle size, body.
Yep.
The VIX was what? 26. It fell down. So it is giving you one directional trade. One directional trade. Same date, 10th of November.
Okay, sir.
So that is what will tell you. It will keep giving you the same directional trade, but the trading activity will not give you the chance. For a trader, it's a nightmare to trade on those on when the VIX is so low.
Okay.
One second. Let me show you on NASDAQ also. See that movement? Body? It's a trending day. One side direction, VIX keeps falling. Look at the candlestick bodies now reducing. So the minute you start hearing from people, it's a boring day, I'm not able to trade, I'm not able to find trades, that means VIX is going to fall further. And it can go down. Here it is showing 19, but it can go down to 12, 13 also. 15. And minute the VIX will come up to 32, 33, it will be volatile.
Yeah, I mean 15 was its pivot point, sir. Right.
So expect that VIX to come down to 1750 at least. 1750 and 19.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anything else?
I think, sir, we can go on to our next part of the agenda.
Yes.
Gaurav is keen to share his secrets of how he screens stocks, which we have seen. They usually go up once Gaurav requests for the analysis. So I think it would be pretty interesting to learn from him, and I would request those who are on call and all our learners who will be watching the recording to see a new way of screening stocks. So without further ado, we can move on to Gaurav and see what he has for us.
Great, thank you, Kamal. Yeah, I think I've been a bit lucky, and more than lucky, I think I've been blessed to be guided by great instructors. So before I start, I think it's only appropriate to thank all my instructors, my teachers. So not only at GMT, I've learned things in the past as well. So all that we are going to see is a result of my learnings. And I think before I start, I must say, with Vivek sir as a symbol for all the teachers that I have gone through, it's a big thanks to all of you that I'm being able to share what I am going to. So thank you. And right, so I'll start by saying that I think the stock screening, when we talk about it, has to be a part of your trading system. And any trader, I think we all have our trading system. So your trading setup has to have that built into it. And that is what I simply do. So I use TradingView, and it's all a part of my trading setup, which I'm going to share. So I'll start by sharing my screen. Okay. All right. So this essentially is my trading setup. I'm primarily a momentum trader. So, I look at things that are in momentum where I can get some, swings or profits and some output. So I essentially look at two charts. One is the weekly one is the daily. But before getting into charts, I need the stocks that I have to look at. So because I'm new to the Canadian market or to the North American market, I follow something very simple. Whenever we have these sessions or any news that I read, any news script that I hear, I just add it to my list of stocks that would be there. So there could be a news. I read a news article some time back that semiconductor companies might start doing something, and there was a mention of a company called Micron. So I got the script MU, and that got added to my list. Now, if you see the name of the list, it is Canada TSX. So I have my lists by exchange, and we'll come to know why in a second. But then I try to organize my list of scripts. So I have so a lot of effort goes onto the Canada exchange. So that's why you'd see this is the most organized that I have. I have the indices listed. I've tried to sort companies by the sector they belong to, just so that I get a sectoral trend that what seems to be working well in general. Like finance companies seem to be doing good, banks seem to be doing good. So a day when everything is red, then I know that this is probably a sector that's not having a good day. Energy. So, and this is based my understanding. When I want to do a classification, I'll go to the company website and see what does this company do, and try and put it into a category. Then there are some that will always be pending. They lie in the others. I know Air Canada is aviation. It's just that I don't have anybody to give it company, so that's why it's lying in the others. NTR that we spoke about. So one of my ways of trading is I call myself a weekend trader, where I do most of my analysis over the weekend, and I know what I'm going to look out for the rest of the week. And my filtering criteria is something that I could say, filtering has to be something that you can do equivalent to what you do in Excel. If you can, put in a filter and say, this is what I want, and it should be able to give you that. So on my weekly chart, when I have a stock and I'm looking at it, I start drawing the resistances. So the oranges are my monthly resistances, the greens are my weekly, the reds or pinks are my daily resistances. So one word of caution or disclaimer here: I am not very popular for my choice of colors, so please excuse me for that for the rest of the session, and you'll have to bear with me on that. But not good with color combinations. As long as it's giving me the message, I'm good. So this is what I do. So when I draw it on one chart, I have it synced on the other chart, and it simply comes up on both the places. So whenever I'm analyzing, it helps. Then I use something called relative strength and RSI on the weekly chart, and this is something that you'd see a lot on my analysis that I share. So we all know that RSI is giving us the strength of the stock, or I like giving this analogy because this is how my mentor taught me RSI. RSI is the speedometer of your car, right? If you're driving at 60, it's telling you are at 60. So that tells me how fast the stock is running. And my criteria is simply it has to be above 50. And that's it. So like I said, I'm somebody who will have a very Excel-like criteria. It has to be above 50. And then I talk about relative strength. So relative strength is one step ahead. So with RSI, I say I'm driving at 60, but if the other guy is driving at 80, he's driving faster than me. So RSI, like the name says, relative strength, it gives you a comparison with whatever you want. So if you see here, I'm comparing the stock versus TSX. So if I'm above 0, that means my stock is running faster than the exchange or whatever I'm comparing it with. If it is below 0 or at 0, at 0, it's running at the same speed, or if it's below 0, it's running slower than the exchange. So when you have those strong bull markets, this is one thing that could also help you choose that, if you have 3 options or 3 trades to take, which one do you pick? So so my first filter is at RS. RS has to be greater than 0. There's so many trades that we talk about. I end up not taking them, or I filter them out simply because RS is less than 0. And that's not filter criteria. So for me, it's okay that I don't have exposure to 15 good trades. I'd rather reduce that to 5 so that I can focus energies on 5. So RS has to be greater than 0. RSI has to be 50 or greater. That is when I come to the day chart. Till then, I have not even looked at the day chart. Now, when I come to the day chart, we see I have a whole lot of indicators here. And then one more thing about RS. So on RS, the reason I said I have multiple lists for each exchange is I have one for Canada TSX. Similarly, I have another one for NYSE. That is because I have to, put what do I want to compare with. So if I have to compare with NYSE, I put a NYA. So that's why I have multiple lists so that my RS values stay true. Right. So now when I come to the day chart, this is where I look for where what is happening, and I have all sort of indicators here. But the idea is, what do you want to use? Typically, I have my 200 and 100 hidden. I'm looking at 1034. 20 is there with my Bollinger. Sometimes I don't want to look at the Bollinger, so I'll hide the Bollinger. I look at what kind of movement am I seeing. Has the stock just closed above a resistance, or is it very close to a resistance? So if it is very close to a resistance, let us say if this is where I would have been doing my weekend analysis, and it is very close to the resistance, this positive RS tells me that it has the strength, or it has that speed to break this barrier or not. So it might have hit a couple of times, and now I know that the RS is positive, so there's a good chance it might close above. Then I start looking at the EMAs that I have. That is there any crossover that I see? Is there any MACD crossover that I see? And
Gaurav,
yeah,
just one
Munir.
question.
Mhm.
I don't think so anyone of us is using this relative strength indicator, at least I am
Mhm.
not. So if you can show that setup of this indicator and from where it comes, like it's
Sure.
a default indicator or someone scripted.
Okay, I think it is a scripted one. Let me see. This is the one I use. Relative strength of a stock by a Bharat trader. This is the one that I use.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And how you
good.
how if
Yep.
you want to change like from TSX to
Okay.
any other?
So you go to the settings. On the settings, it'll tell you what is it that you want to compare
Okay.
with. And good you brought that up, Munir. I think that reminds me. So, I have known people, what they do is, people who are far more smart and do far deeper analysis. Like we are talking about CIBC, they have two RS set up. One, they are comparing it with the exchange. Second, they are comparing it with the banking index. So, you want to pick the three best banks that are doing best, right? So you just compare it with the banking index as well. So it's your choice how you want to do it. You know that two symbols will run the same way, or they are twins, or they just have maybe a $20 gap in terms of price, but they run the same pattern. So you could do a comparison as well. So you could use RS for comparing any two symbols. You just set what is it that you want to compare with. So I am comparing with the exchange. You could compare it with the sector index. You could compare it with any other exchange or anything that you want to really compare with. So that's a choice that you have. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So coming back to the day chart. So I look at how where it has closed. Has it closed above a resistance? If it is close to a resistance, then does the RS tell me that it has a good chance of breaking this resistance or shattering this resistance? Are there any crossovers nearby? Now I don't see any crossovers here, so I might turn up looking at 100 and 200 moving average. So when I turn on 100, it tells me, oh, this has just crossed 100. So okay, that adds to the bullishness. I look at MACD. This looks to be bullish. And then I start looking for bad news also at the same time. So the super trend here says this is very close to the super trend. So I look at the super trend level. It says, it's at, this is at 64.98. So did this close above 64.98? Yes. So it's broken that resistance as well. So I try and look for good and bad news, but my filter criteria is always going to be RS and RSI. If it is not here, there are some good trades that would not be here. I'm happy to miss out on them because it's going to give me another trade that I'm more confident taking. Because for me, if I don't trust my setup, the markets won't. So I need my setup to tell me, Gaurav, this is the stock you want to invest your energy in, invest your money in. So that is that. So yeah, this is how I look at things. Then we have super trends. So then I also look at any trends that I see. So in this one, like we spoke about, this is the CM one that we spoke about. I looked at, okay, there's a cup and handle as well. So it's building points, how many strong points I have, how many not so strong points I have, and then I take that call. So I'll show you. Probably there'd be another one where Sun Life. Now, the reason I give Sun Life is Sun Life was one of my past employers. So, you always have a bias. You want to try Sun Life. When I come to Sun Life, RS is, less than 0. I don't look at the chart. I mean, I see here that it could make a, if it breaks this, it could go up because it's broken a resistance or, it's broken a previous high. But because RS is less than 0, I will not consider it at all. So it would not feature on my analysis or anything. So that's how I filter out. So I might have, like this time I just had 2 stocks, but that's because there were only 2 that fell in my criteria, and I wanted to focus energy on 2. So sometimes I'm happy to not have anything to share or not have anything to trade, but that's what my setup tells me. So you've got to listen to 2 people: one, your teacher; second, your setup. So yeah, that's, I think, all that I have. Happy to take up any questions or any suggestions. That we
Thanks, Gaurav. I like your ending, trusting your setup and trusting your mentor. So that's great. Does anyone have any question for Gaurav?
So Gaurav, like, do you do options also or like only stocks?
I primarily focus on stocks. I did options in India. I take a couple of trades on TQQ if I have A, the confidence, and B, the money. So, but most of my trades are in stocks only. So, I just want to get my feet cemented, and then I'll probably, foray into more aggressive options work. But for now, primarily stocks. And I do stocks at all 3 exchanges: NYSE, nasdaq, and TSX.
Okay.
No one has any question. Maybe we can test Gaurav's setup with IBM, which was Rajeshree's request, to see if it has relative strength, positive or
Right.
negative.
Right. It just went up and came down. So, if I would have had it on my list, I would not have looked at it. Even though when it was being discussed, I was like, if on some of my screens, you would see that I have 2 Bollinger Bands, one at standard deviation 1 and 2. Because on this one, if it is between standard deviation 1 and 2, there's always a continuity in trend. So, but yeah, because RS didn't reject it in the first filter, I would not have looked at it. I think that's the idea of having your setup, that you know that there are some trades it'll not give you, which is fine. So you might miss out on some good trades, and that's okay. I mean, the market has ample trades to give you. it's like, like we all say, it's an ocean, and we just need a couple of drops. So I can't take all the good trades in a day.
Absolutely. Great. So anyone else have any question? If not, on behalf of others, apart from these indicators that you have, Gaurav, on your setup, do you use any other additional indicators?
No, I don't use any other indicators. I mean, at times what I might do is, I might do a Fibonacci if needed in the analysis, but on-screen indicators are all that I have. So, like I said, I'd use a if this is something that would have had an RS of let us say greater than 0, let's assume, I might have done a Bollinger Band 1 and 2 and see that, okay, this is running between 1 and 2, so I see continuity. The only time I would be, if I'm holding this position, the only time I would be concerned about selling it is when it comes to one delta, one standard deviation, right? Otherwise, any flirts within the 1 and 2, I'm happy. But so yeah, that's on the screen. But beyond these, I don't use any other indicators. So I mean, I earlier had a different setup where I had RS and RSI on here as well. But like I said, you've got to learn, keep evolving. So I brought MACD and William R, which sort of I think so far is doing well.
That's great. And just as an observation, have you noticed any time that your relative strength or RSI is in oversold near the lower points, and same is Williams R and MACD? Is that the best buying point, or that need not be?
Kamal, it's essentially because you are looking at momentum. See, if you are looking at RSI being at the bottom in the oversold region, or maybe Williams are, you're looking at probably reversal kind of trades. And I prefer more of momentum or continuity kind of trades. So, for example, let's take this setup, or let's go back to CM for a second. This is a running uptrend, and I know that it has beaten a previous high, took a small correction and, beat a previous high. So it's continuity within an uptrend. So RS gives me the confidence that it's going to continue running forward. If I'm looking at a reversal, like if you talk of this point, I wouldn't have taken this trade because RSI is below 50. If it's above 50, it's telling me that there's a good chance this trend would continue. So I'm not very keen on reversal trades that, because yes, they're going to give you a good profit. They'll give you a longer run. But
there is a clear
that's not my style.
divergence. Gaurav, if you look at the price, it's making lower low, and look at the RSI strength, it's making higher high. It's clear divergent that price is going up, and it went. So just what I have been looking for since a month, that these divergence work very well. Like I said, rule is 1, 3, and 5 candles. So it gave a quick and good profit. If you see here, as soon as divergence was created, look at the next move. It was clearly a $5 move.
Right. Absolutely.
Great. That's great observation as well. Thanks, Munir. So maybe this could be a little unrelated to the indicators, but related to the setup. I know for sure, Gaurav, you like trading view. So with trading view, is this dual window and more than 3 indicators setup that keeps you with trading view?
Yes, and the other thing is this is the first platform I started with, so so I didn't find a reason to move out.
Yes, see, it's easy, Kamal. It's better than I found it better than Webull. Like you can use multiple indicators, and even the drying is easier on that. And there are so many things on this that's not possible on the Webull.
And the other thing that I use, and probably I think between me and Munir when we were discussing on the group, one thing that I haven't started here in North America, but I would do very frequently in India is using the alerts. So there was a time I had around close to 250 alerts. So once I'm mentally settled with this, what I'll start doing is, if on this chart, had this been somewhere, at this green candle, I would set myself an alert that, when it crosses this, I want an alert. So, that alert comes to me on the website, on my email, and on the app. So, once you get an alert, you know that there was something I had to take an action on. And primarily being a weekend kind of a trader, I know that I'm looking at, day closing candle to take an action. So it's not urgent, but I know that I have something to look at in the evening and take an action. So those alerts are very helpful. So if you see, I still have some alerts. So like when Vivek sir mentioned about the Dow Jones pieces, I put those alerts in. So I have some other alerts as well. So there was some that have been triggered. So I think the alerts help you big time, because once these lists, when these lists are 5, you remember the levels. But when you have 55 here, you don't remember 55 levels. So you do, when you're doing weekend analysis, set up alerts, tuck, 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 tuck. If this goes above this, I want an alert. If this goes below this, I want an alert. So there are times I have put in an alert that basis the analysis we do that, if TQQ crosses 21, I write in my alert, buy TQQ call for so and so for so and so expiries, just so that I also remember what to do, right? So if I have to set an alert here, okay, I'll use, uh, sorry, drag this down. Yeah. So if I have to set up an alert, maybe here, I just say alert, and I'll say EIF crossing 50, and I'm just making this up. So I'll say buy call for 100 with December 25 expiry. And when this alert comes on my screen, I know what has happened, and there was some analysis I did, and I want to go in. So I might just take a look once at the chart and then take a trade, or take a position, or whatever. So this is why I tend to rely quite a bit on TradingView.
That's cool. So you don't have to do analysis again. You're based on your analysis. If that price hits, it's just next action that you take is go ahead and set that order in your trading platform.
Right. And sometimes, when we speak about sectors, and sorry, things just keep come to me when I'm talking. I am a talking, thinking kind of person. I sometimes keep looking at this chart. So this is something, again, someone did for me in India, and I was leveraging that. So I tried building similar chart here. So this gives us, your exchange versus multiple sectors. So you just compare symbols. So the darker one, the big yellow one is TSX, and then these are the other ones. This is EN is energy, MT, I don't remember, RE is real estate, TK I think is technology, GD is gold. So you can compare how each of the sectors are doing versus the exchange. I think I prefer to look at it on a weekly basis rather than a daily one. So sometimes this would give you whether a sector is taking a dip. It might be right up here, but it's taking a dip, or it might be right down here, but it's having a steep rise. So just gives you some directional pointers. I mean, I don't take decisions based on this, but it just gives me some additional inputs on, okay, this is where some things might just happen. So when you read news articles, then you use this to correlate. So it helps you at the back of the mind to take some decisions. Let
Awesome.
me see if I have the similar
good
one.
snapshot of how your preferred sector is performing, or you can actually choose to invest on sectors which are performing better than the index
Correct.
that you are trading.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Any last question for Gaurav? Vivek
Very
sir,
interesting. Thank you, Gaurav.
No problem.
Thank you, Gaurav. That was a wonderful session which you gave. Very enriching, if you ask me. I picked up a few pointers myself, and I think I will toy with them with the idea. As Gaurav rightly said, he is used his learnings with various people and finalized his strategy of which suits him best. And then he follows his strategy to the T. That is most important in this entire statement. You create your strategy that you are comfortable, and then you pursue it and you follow it to the T. All right. So thank you. Over here, would also like to tell all of you over here, today happens to be the birthday of Bruce Lee, and we always quote him in his quotes that he's scared of the one opponent who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. That's exactly what Gaurav is doing over here. He has his one strategy, which he's practiced it well. He can do all the permutations and combinations, all alterations within that strategy, and enhance it and better it every time he trades. That is the essence of the entire trading. Keep your trading simple, keep it comfortable to your way of trading, and you will do wonders with yourself. So Gaurav, thank you very much once again for a wonderful session. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, sir. I think we all are learners, and I think the learning that I have had recently has given me a lot of confidence. I mean, one thing I'm sharing that these are some things we spoke in the learning sessions as well, that we've got to keep things simple. So we speak a lot about quantities, and so my strategy so far has been very simple. I take a trade that can give me $10. I mean, the overall profit in the trade is going to be $10 on PSX. Simply, buy 10 quantity, it moves $1, I'm out. I have at the end of the $10 from that trade in my pocket. And I think this simplicity that I've learned from GMT is something that's helping me lay down a very strong foundation. Because what happens is, let's do the math very simply. If you start with a small quantity, target 2% a month, or maybe even in 2 months, use Excel and see where it takes you at the end of 2 years. And then forget the Excel and then forget everything else and then get onto it. And be very simple, because there would be some other person, and I think this is something I said in one of the previous discussions as well. There would be someone who would be earning more than you, could be taking a trade which gives him a $10 profit per share or per unit, which he's multiplying by the quantity and whatever. Fair enough, good for him. Do what's good for you, because it's like you say, it's your money, your profit, your loss. So I am happy with that $10 profit, $15 profit, and because that's mine. So I try and keep things simple that work for me, and then I'm happy with when others are making money, but I'm even happy when I make my $10.
Just that your 2% profit on a daily basis or on a monthly basis will just do the Excel sheet. You don't have to go for the 2 years. 1 month itself will be more than sufficient to tell you what you should follow. Quick, regular money coming in your account is better than a big amount coming into your account occasionally.
Right.
That is the whole essence. Very true.
Great. Thanks, Gaurav. That was really insightful. And I would like to also thank Vivek sir for his in-depth analysis. I might have missed thanking him before starting Gaurav's session because I wanted to make sure that his session starts at 12:30. So just before we close off for the day, as we had mentioned last week and shared in the group. So this December, we are starting with small courses for beginners. Basically, we are looking at people who would like to begin their trading journey. So we are kicking off 2 quick start courses for those who would like to start their trading journey. And let me see. Okay, it seems this spreadsheet is duplicated. Let me open in a different view. All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. So we are starting 2 quick start courses. One for those who are beginners in stock market entirely. So it's a 5 hours, 2 days course over the weekend, 1 weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 2.5 hours each. What we would be covering in that is trading basic concepts, introduction to technical analysis, information on trading platform if he or she has not had any of the trading platforms here in North America for North American market, then that would be part of day 1. On day 2, we would take through the hands-on part, introducing one of the highly used trading strategy using supports and resistances after introducing these 2 technical terms. So this is for those who would like to begin their trading journey here in either in Canada or US market or both. Then the next set is for those who would like to begin options and futures trading here in Canadian market. Again, 2-day course, 7 hours. It would be 3.5 hour session per day. Saturday and Sunday, 1 weekend would be the time that you can expect to dedicate for learning options and futures trading here in the US market. Day 1 would be, we would be covering the trading instruments. What are different instruments that you have for trading stocks, ETFs, futures, and options. We would introduce you to options terms, call, put, option geeks, what are option chain, what are the option types on day 1. And on day 2, we would introduce you to 2 of the highly used option strategies. And towards the end, we would share you setup of options and futures on the trading platform that we recommend. So although these 2 are kind of a fast track courses, which we intend to help those who would like to begin either their stocks or indexes trading. It could also apply for crypto trading if you are interested in crypto, but we would like to keep it more focused on stocks and indexes, as that's what most people prefer. And also the second course for options and futures. Here, mostly people intend to begin with options trading, but we would also share how you could do futures trading as well. If you'd like to enroll in these courses, please reach out to me. We would have these courses set up on the website as well. So if you are familiar with GMT website, you can go ahead and enroll from the GMT website as well. If you have already completed our either stocks course or options course, we would encourage you to share your experience with your friends, families, and connections whom you think could benefit from either of these quick start courses, as these are short duration courses, which we believe everyone in your connection should know and get benefit, be aware, so they can take this as a skill to grow their money, starting with a small investment of time and even small monetary investment. So I'll just pause here for some time. Does anyone have any question? Vivek sir, would you like to add anything?
Nothing much, Kamal. I think you covered everything. It's just that in our main courses, we always teach you option selling. Whereas in this crash course or a quick start course on options, the strategy that I'm going to teach you is going to be option buying. So option selling will require you to always have a larger capital, margin requirements will be higher, whereas option buying, you can start buying with a smaller capital, lesser margin, equally effective, or can be practiced easily and learned easily. As I've always believed in saying, I like to teach things which are easy to grasp, easy to understand, easy to execute, keeping your strategies, keeping your thinking clutter-free and simple. If you can do that, your life will also be happy, you will also be happy, and most of all, your family will be most happy. That is most important, right? So anybody wanting to learn these things, feel free to contact Kamal or get onto the website. The website link is already being displayed to you on your screen under the next to the logo, under the name, next to the mobile number. Use it, browse through the website, make a decision, and never regret your decision, because that is the ownership you have on your decisions. So do that. And whenever you're confident, get in touch with Kamal. His number is also flashing. He will help you out. That's it. Otherwise, we definitely meet every Sunday morning. That will continue anyway. Right? So thank you very much.
Thank you, Vivek sir. Anyone would like to have any last closing comments or any question before we call it a day? Hi, Imran.
Hi everyone, how are you?
We are good. So if you have anything, we can talk.
Yeah, basically I wanted to join the session, but due to time difference, I missed it.
Okay, no worries. So
Yeah, I will go through the session again.
That's great. Okay, so with that,
Okay. Thank you so much for help all the time.
Yeah, we are welcome, Imran. Thanks for joining. And yes, you can watch a very insightful session by Gaurav in the recording on YouTube. Sorry, Vix, you're saying something?
I was just saying, I hope Munir and Gaurav and Eldrin and Zia, of course, you had a good time watching the analysis on NASDAQ and the Dow Jones targets. The targets are very tempting. So just gear up. You have a huge rally coming out for you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Most
Right,
welcome.
sir. We'll
Most
spend the rest of the day preparing the ammunition, sir.
Do that. Keep a gunpowder dry. You will require it now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So hopefully Vivek sir's analysis follows the trend that he has shared, and most of us have a good profitable week ahead. And once we get back, we can share our profits, at least mention about the profits when the time comes, at the day of expiry or whenever it reaches the target. So with that, I'll wish everyone good luck for the coming trading week and see you all in the next session.